Organizing and Planning, Department of Developmental Services, Consumer Advisory Committee. This is the story of how I used Think-Plan-Do to be an organized and successful leader. I began the Think-Plan-Do process by thinking about what leaders do to be organized and professional. File your papers and your notes and make sure you have no paper, pens, and a calendar to mark down the dates and time and appointments so you know when and where you're going so you don't forget. I like being prepared for my meetings and people thinking of me as an organized leader. I think about transportation ahead of time, what materials I need to have for the meeting, and what assignments I need to complete before I go. I want to be organized with my papers and supplies so I can pay attention to what is said. After the meeting, I will feel respected as a professional and advocate. When I get home, I look over my materials and anything I need to think about so I will not forget. I took the next steps and made my own plan to be organized for all my meetings. I need a professional backpack or briefcase to carry my meeting materials. The backpack I use for my food is not a good choice since food might spill on my meeting papers. I also need to make sure I have pens, writing paper, and a notebook. I make sure I have a calendar or date book to bring to the meeting. I also need a special organized file box with folders to help me organize my papers at home. Do before the meeting, I make a list with my facilitator or support person of what I need to do, so I will remember and be organized and calm. I go over my notes from the last meeting. I review the meeting materials a few times so I know what the words mean. I make sure my transportation is planned many days before. The day before the meeting, my support person and I talk about what supplies I will need. If a meeting is away from home, I pack my professional meeting clothes the day before and make sure they're clean and pressed and ready. During the meeting, I get support with taking notes. I ask my facilitator to explain some of the hard words so I can join in the discussion. I ask the people at the meeting to talk slower so I can understand everything. After the meeting, I go through all the meeting papers. I put in important papers in my file box so I can use them later. I put a label on the file for each meeting. I make a list of what I need to do if there is an assignment. Think about what you need to do. Plan. Remember, creating a plan helps you take the steps to be prepared. Do. Remember, taking action is the way to complete your work, and ask for help if you need it. Tips. Here are some tips to help you be a successful and organized leader. Being prepared ahead of time so you are confident. Use professional tools like a date book, notebook, and pens. Make a special place to put your papers. Traps. Here are some planning traps to remember. scheduling appointments and meetings without a date book, being late for meetings, don't pile papers on your desk, file them, leadership through personal change, my life, my way. I am Debbie Beater, an advocate for people's rights. I am organized and come prepared to my meetings. My goal is to be an interviewer, so I need to be prepared so others will feel comfortable when they talk with me. Thank you for watching this program.